Hi there, everyone. Don't worry, this is not going to be a habit or anything like that. But I wanted to do this video because a couple of days ago I had seen Just a Robot, or Jar for short. But yeah, I'd seen his video in regard to all the allegations and stuff that blew up ever since the Cinebear 03 drama started. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I don't, I apologise. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because she isn't the main focus for this. Jar is. Um, for this particular video. So again, this is going to be completely unscripted, so I do apologise. And also, I'm going to try and not make this as long as the Diaz Station video. So there you go. Oh, at least I hope it's not going to be as long, but we'll see. I'll try to anyway. So yeah, watching the video, definitely can take away at least 2 points out of the whole thing of this like nearly an hour long video. And yeah, I can see why lots of people on YouTube are of course all up in arms about the whole thing, because yeah, it's not a well it, I was going to say it wasn't a very well put together video. Not like in terms of editing, but to try and get your point across and to answer for yourself and this, that, and the other. Yeah, it wasn't that great, and lots of people have already pointed that out, as it's been about a week now since he's uploaded it. But yeah, anyway, for those who aren't in the know, a YouTube user called Just a Robot, who is on the autism spectrum, which is why I'm doing this, he has recently been under fire for defending a child groomer called Sunnybear 03, or Sunnybear 03, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. But she openly admitted to being a child groomer, so everybody knew that fact. Then Jar decided it was a great idea to try and defend this person and their actions. And yeah, that's why all of YouTube is against Jar right now. And recently he has, so about a week ago, had uploaded a video trying to, like explain his actions and try and, do some damage control. But all he's done is made things worse. Because the two major points I wanted to bring about this whole thing. The first one is he clearly, very much so, still doesn't think that Cinebear 03 had done anything wrong. In the video, he let it slip that, that was his intention. But yeah, he mentioned that he said that he didn't believe that Cinebear 03 intended to be a groomer. Jar, it doesn't matter what her intentions were. If she intended for it to happen or not, she still groomed a minor. She openly admitted to that. And yeah, that is very much frowned upon by, most people. And that is the issue here. Instead of, saying, oh, yeah, what she did was wrong, so from now on, I'm going to be giving her a wide berth. Instead of doing that, you still say stuff like, oh, she had no intention of doing that, which means basically that you still, want to be with her, despite the fact that she openly admitted to being a child groomer. And even you said that she lied to you in the same video, and also described her in a very not so flattering way, and yet you are still defending her to a degree. And yeah, it's quite obvious what's going on here. He is defending who he sees as a friend, because she had taken some time to interact with him in in a pleasant way and chat to him and this and yeah, blah 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 blah. Obviously, don't know if it's a platonic relationship or if it stretches even more so than that. Hopefully not, but regardless, either way, he is defending her because he still sees her as a friend, and yeah, usually when people are outed as doing very questionable things like grooming children to potentially be abused in any way, shape, or form, that in society is seen as being very bad. And sorry, the usual thing that most people do obviously will go, oh no, I don't want to be associated with that person, I'll give them a wide berth, I'm just going to try and avoid them. Which if it was me, I can sort of get where you're coming from in that respect, but um, I don't know why I said that, but no. But yeah, if it was me, if it was somebody I barely interacted with, yeah, I'll drop them right then and there. Well, I would just not interact with them. I would cut all ties with them, and that'll be that. And of course, if they're wondering, then all they need to do is look back on themselves and realize, oh, it's because I did that thing, and that's why this person's not speaking to me, and all that. But I get it if it's somebody you knew for a long while and you thought that they were a nice person. It is hard, but it is best to just cut all ties with them, as much as it hurts. If they had, if they've done anything that you feel um, that they are, I'm just trying to get the words out, but yeah, if they had done something incredibly wrong and you, they themselves have done something incredibly wrong, and I get it, it is hard to, break ties with them, but like for your own, I mean, because if, well, look at it this way: if you still associate yourself with that person, then I mean, you shouldn't really focus on what others say or do, whatever. But people will say, "Oh, he's still associated with this person. That's not good," because yeah, they're thinking, "Oh, maybe that they perhaps themselves have done very questionable things, and or still doing that kind of thing." It's puts a negative aspect on yourself, and yeah, well, that's why most people just tend to cut all ties. I mean, they might make a short YouTube video saying, oh, I very much apologize for being associated with this person. I had no idea that they were doing something this horrible to someone. So from now on, I've cut all ties with this person, and I will no longer be interacting with them. And I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing here on YouTube or whatever it is online. And yeah, that's usually what most people tend to do anyway. Or they just, or don't make the YouTube video, which goes to my next point in a minute. But yeah, don't do something like that. Just silently cut all ties with that person and just get on with your life. And that's what most people would tend to do in that kind of situation. But I get it in the way why he still defends her, because because that's the key issue here. He still sees her as a friend, and as long as Giles sees Sunny Bear 03 as an actual friend, he is going to continue getting a lot of flack. And now this brings up, or this goes into my next point, in the fact that there have been several times in the video where he delves into quite a lot of TMI, or too much information, as it were, because he gone into some really weird stuff, which I'm rather not getting to here, but yeah, he went into quite a few bits and pieces he thought that was necessary for him to address, but no, it really wasn't any, it wasn't really relevant to anything. And yeah, even he said himself in the video, which proves my point that he admits that he has no filter at all, and that's basically it. That's my point. Is the fact that because he has no filter, he feels like he needs to address things which really have no relevance to anything, or um, stuff that he sees as important but really isn't in the grand scheme of things. Like there was one thing I'm just going to briefly mention was that somebody or there was accusations that a certain type of fetish. I'm not going to go into not going to go into great detail, but yeah, that's well, it may have been part of the whole thing with the allegations, but or yeah, it may have been an allegation, but then um, was it really worth talking about? The main thing was the whole Cinebear 03 thing, obviously, but with that, it's that was and that even then, I don't think he explained it too well. If anything, if he had or hadn't, he was, and I think defending the actions of some drawing that he posted online. It's a whole stupid thing. I'm not that's going to go too much into detail about that, but yeah, but again, yeah, stuff like that though just proves that he has no filter. What he sees is perhaps being funny is very damaging to him. In a similar, it's not as bad as the whole thing with Chris Chan, for example, but it's like that. It's and obviously trolls were getting at Chris Chan for him to do stuff. They knew that he had autism, and they knew that he was going to interact with whatever the trolls do because they know they was going to get a rise out of him because of that. In a similar fashion, this is kind of what it is with Jar. He also does or feels like he needs to do things or joke around in a certain way, thinking it's okay, but in reality, it isn't. And all it's doing is just painting him out as being, a reckless kid, which, well, actually, well, he's not like under 18 or whatever, thank goodness, but no, but but he's acting very muchly like any kid would, you just act impulsively. That's the word. Yes, act rather impulsively and just does stuff. He does stuff. He just says stuff, and yeah, I mean, even he admits in the past that he does it to get reactions, to get him noticed. As again, he thinks he's a really major YouTuber when that's anything far from the truth. Especially now that he's practically made himself a not so much a laughing stock, but people are just avoiding him because of his again with the aforementioned association with Cinebear 03, and the outlook is for for Jar himself. I can just see it's probably going to be difficult for him to change, and yeah, in a way, I do feel sorry for him because yeah, he's always styled himself as being, controversial. It's not going to be my sort of like YouTube. I'm certainly not going to go out of my way rather to look at his content. Apart from just that video of him trying to address things, because I was just out of morbid curiosity. Sorry, out of morbid curiosity, I just saw the video, just saw how's he defending himself? Why is everybody up in arms? And it's very easy to see why from that video alone. I'm thinking, yeah, he still defends Cinebear 03 and he has no filter. He, he doesn't think the same way that most people do, thinking, should I say this? Should I not say this? Is this relevant? Is this not relevant? He doesn't stop and think, wait, maybe this isn't relevant. Maybe I should just, cut this out and just move on to something else since this is not really very, prominent or whatever. But yeah, but all in all it does is just making him look like a fool. And there was like another YouTuber, I can't remember his name now, but he was watching the video and was, in hysterics quite a few times over what Jar had just openly admitted to, and yeah, it's a thing, you don't talk about your you know stuff that might be very much considered not safe for work in like very adult oriented stuff in or don't show. So, well, you can do it in private chats or whatever in Discord, but you certainly don't want to make it into or don't want to add it into a YouTube video. But that's what he's done with a few occasions, and yeah, that's just kind of the guy we're dealing with here. I mean, just look at that alone. Lots of people would keep their private lives private, but that's yeah, it's just something not regular people would tend to do, which just goes to show the kind of person that Jar is. But another thing that I kind of took out of it was at least a couple of times it had been proven that yeah, he had been screwed over royally quite a couple of times by certain people. Again, he claims that Cinebear03 had also done it by lying to him, and yeah, she does, but again, defends her regardless. But there was there was something that really irked me, something that he went into, and I thought, yeah, that's definitely going to mess someone up. He'd apparently gone a job once at this ranger station, doing cleanup work, whatever, and one of the rangers there had shown him like this was like an adult male or whatever. He didn't go into his age, he probably didn't know, but yeah, it was an adult male, and he was showing a 15-year-old Jar a pile of pornographic magazines. A ranger whatever was showing a 15-year-old who was just working there part-time. He was showing a 15-year-old pornographic magazines. Yeah, that doesn't I mean, it's good actually. This is actually one of the things I'm glad that he brought up, because it explains why, in a way, that Jar himself is messed up, and in a way, I do feel sorry for him. He's like, why would anyone show a 15-year-old that kind of material? That is, you wouldn't. You absolutely would not do that. In fact, I don't know. Obviously, this must have been like magazines people left in the woods or whatever, and they're supposed to be destroyed. But of course, some stupid idiots decided to, keep the material and just whatever. But yeah, it's. But no, I certainly wouldn't do that. No, I mean, because that's. No wonder the poor guy's messed up. If I mean, this may not have been the first time. There have been other times where people have done this and say to him, "Oh, it's okay. Everyone does this." No, not to a 15-year-old. Somebody who's underage. 18. No, fine, but no. Just you just don't. And but in a way, I'm glad he's mentioned this, because it paints a broader picture as to yeah. Sorry, Jar has messed up. That much is true, and he's still messing up by not seeing the point in regard to the whole thing with Cinebear03. But yeah, but he himself had also been like he's made a fail, but everybody else has failed him at some point in time as well. So it's like a fail on top of another fail on top of another fail on top of another one, and it's wonder when's it going to end? When's it going to stop? And it's probably not going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. But yeah, I just wanted to point out what was the 2 points that I found out by watching his video. So yeah, he clearly still sees Cinebear03 as a friend, and he's very likely not going to let her go anytime soon, unless she probably decides right in his face to say, "Look, don't associate yourself with me anymore. I don't want anything more to do with you," or anything like that. And that might be the only thing that finally will get Jar's point, and he'll finally see the message and realize, okay, then I'll back off. I won't see you anymore, or whatever, or interact with you or whatever. yeah, so that will probably be, that's the only way that or he'll finally see that, it's best not to associate with her, is if she breaks all ties with him. But then who knows what's going to happen there. But as for him coming back, yeah, he's pretty much just going to be, he's probably going to try and still do his own thing, but he's not going to get the kind of audience he had before, and people are just still going to ridicule him over this whole thing. Oh, and in regard to him teaming up with Diaz Station, Zaber Genta, Miss Anthroponi, whatever, yeah, he did do it for the views. He openly admitted that. Well, he said he wanted to make money from hosting these videos, which he can only get, obviously, from a high amount of views. That, in a way, shows that he is aware of what's going on in certain aspects, but then he isn't aware of what's going on in others, which can very well be a spectrum trait right there. Is, he knows that all these videos by Miss Anthroponi would have been, let's say, whatever, would garner him, a lot much stronger viewership from, his like Diaz's fans, but also from people who would see these videos and realize, oh, is he back? Is he back again? And would generate views, which generates income for Jar. And yeah, as I said, he openly admitted that he did it for money. But yeah, the views obviously all gone up to a point where he can be paid through the YouTube partnership program or whatever. But yeah, but yeah, he openly admitted that's why he did it initially. He says again, he says, "Oh, I'm doing it, because of the underdog." He actually says a similar thing about Sunny Bear 03, but no, I think he does know that's just something he says that he really has just has his own agendas for doing these sort of things, which proves that yeah, he is aware of some form of manipulation. He knows how to get an audience in that respect. However, yeah, but when it comes to the stuff which needs to be personal or needs to be kept personal, he just continues to divulge that information like it's nothing. But again, that's very much an autistic trait right there, where he can be aware of some things but not aware of others. And yeah, that's in a way what I feel like quite sorry for him, because if he isn't careful and doesn't filter himself, he could wind up saying or doing something which will just make it a whole lot worse. If I was to offer Jar any advice, is as much as it pains you to do it, drop her. Please drop any association with Cinebear03 from now on, and just move on. If you need to make it public, just do a quick 10-second video just saying, I've just saying, I'm no longer friends with Cinebear03, and that's it. And then just do whatever you want to do. But then this is a guy that loves doing stuff which is controversial. So I know that there's no point in saying anything, as my warning is just going to fall on deaf ears. So yeah, he's like someone who's again thinks himself a big YouTuber and thinks controversy draws in views. I mean, that's why he goes after the art community to begin with, and this, that, and the other, and just trying to get a rise out of them so that he can really be big and be part of big dramas and this, that, and the other. Which is quite sad in a way, to think that he thinks that's the only way to get noticed. And well, as I said, if he's not careful, he's just going to wind up perhaps saying something or doing something that's far worse than this. But yeah, it's all manipulation, and in that case, it's manipulation, and other times it's just people being stupid for the sake of being stupid. Well, this has been about 5 minutes longer than the the Diaz Station video. So yeah, I'll leave things here. Again, I just wanted to get my thoughts across on the whole thing. So again, if you've been sticking around for the whole video, thanks a lot for sticking around. Do take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.